Have you ever wondered why your Social Security cost of living adjustment sounds good on paper, but somehow doesn't seem to stretch as far in real life? Have you noticed that your Medicare premiums keep increasing, while your monthly benefit barely seems to move? What if I told you there's something happening behind the scenes that most retirees have never even heard of? It's called the Consumer Price Index, or CPI. Inside the CPI is something economists call the market basket. And hidden inside that market basket is Medicare Part B. But here's the surprising part. Even though Medicare Part B helps measure inflation, many retirees believe it doesn't fully reflect the medical expenses seniors actually face. Before we get started, I'd like to give a special shout out to Timothy Keith for suggesting today's topic. Timothy, thank you for taking the time to leave your comment. I appreciate your support, and this is a great question that I believe will help thousands of people better understand how Medicare Part B, inflation, and Social Security are all connected. If you have a topic you'd like me to cover, leave it in the comments below. You might be featured in a future Money Smart Basics video. So today we're going to answer several important questions. What exactly is the CPI market basket? Why is Medicare Part B included? How does this affect your Social Security COLA? Why do many experts believe seniors aren't receiving enough of an increase? And what can you do to protect yourself? By the end of this video, you'll understand one of the most misunderstood parts of retirement planning. Let's dive in. Where Medicare Part B fits into the market basket. Now let's focus on Medicare. Many people believe Medicare has nothing to do with inflation calculations. Actually, Medicare Part B premiums are included in the CPI. Specifically, they fall inside the medical care category. That means every time Medicare Part B premiums increase, medical inflation also rises. But here's something interesting. Medical care represents only a portion of the entire CPI. Housing carries much greater weight. Transportation carries significant weight. Food has substantial weight. Medical expenses are important, but they don't dominate the index. Here's a question. If you're retired, do you spend more on gasoline or healthcare? For many retirees, healthcare wins by a mile. Why retirees feel inflation more than workers? Let's think about this. Suppose you're 35 years old. You drive to work every day. You buy gasoline. You buy work clothes. You pay daycare. You spend money on commuting. Now imagine you're 72. You rarely commute. You own your home. Your biggest monthly increases may come from prescription drugs, doctor visits, specialists, medical equipment, Medicare premiums, long-term care insurance, dental work, vision expenses. Doesn't it make sense that retirees experience inflation differently? That's exactly why many economists believe seniors experience a higher inflation rate than workers. Yet Social Security COLAs are based primarily on inflation experienced by urban wage earners. That difference matters. The Medicare Part B premium puzzle. Let's look at an example. Suppose your Social Security benefit is $2,000 per month. Imagine Congress announces a 2.5% COLA. That sounds wonderful. Your check increases by about $50 monthly. But then, Medicare Part B premiums rise $25. Now your actual increase becomes only $25. Before you've purchased groceries, before you've filled your prescription, before you've paid your electric bill, half your COLA is already gone. Have you ever experienced something like that? You receive a raise, yet somehow feel no richer? That's exactly how many retirees describe their COLA. Section 5, the CPI-W versus CPI-E debate, 5 minutes. Now, we're entering one of the biggest retirement debates in America. Social Security uses something called the CPI-W. The W stands for wage earners. But retirees aren't wage earners. Many organizations argue Social Security should instead use something called the CPI-E. The E stands for elderly. Why? Because seniors spend differently. The CPI-E gives greater importance to medical care, health insurance, prescription drugs, housing, services frequently used by older Americans. If Congress ever switched to CPI-E, many retirees might receive somewhat larger COLAs over time. But here's the question. Would that significantly improve retirement security? Or would healthcare costs simply continue rising faster? It's a debate that's been going on for years, a real-life retirement story. Let me share a story. Meet James and Linda. James retired after 42 years. Linda retired several years later. Together, they believed they had planned well. Every January, they eagerly watched for the new Social Security COLA announcement. One year, they received an increase. They celebrated. Until February. Their Medicare premium increased. Prescription costs increased. Their supplemental insurance increased. Groceries increased. Property taxes increased. After adding everything together, their monthly expenses had increased more than their income. James looked at Linda and asked, "Didn't we just receive a raise?" Linda smiled and said, "It disappeared before we even spent it." Can you relate to that? Many retirees can. What can retirees actually control? We can't control inflation. We can't control Medicare premiums. We can't control Social Security COLAs. But what can we control? Our spending, our savings, our investment strategy, our debt, our income sources. Ask yourself, do you rely on only one retirement income? Or do you have multiple streams? Dividend income, pensions, rental income, part-time consulting, a small business, YouTube income, affiliate marketing. The strongest retirement plans rarely depend on just one source of income. That's an important lesson. Final thoughts. Knowledge is financial power. Let's review what we've learned today. The CPI market basket measures inflation. Medicare Part B premiums are included inside the medical care portion of that basket. However, medical expenses represent only part of the total inflation calculation. Many retirees spend far more on healthcare than younger workers. That's why many experts believe seniors experience inflation differently. That's also why there's ongoing discussion about whether Social Security should eventually use CPI-E instead of CPI-W. Here's the biggest takeaway. Understanding how inflation is measured won't change your Medicare premium, but it can help you become a smarter retirement planner. The more you understand the system, the better prepared you'll be to build additional income, reduce unnecessary expenses, and protect your retirement lifestyle. So let me leave you with one final question. If inflation continues rising faster than your retirement income, what changes can you make today that your future self will thank you for? Think about that, because retirement isn't just about receiving income. It's about making sure your income continues working for you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's preparing for retirement or already receiving Social Security. Every week here on Money Smart Basics, we simplify retirement, Social Security, Medicare, investing, and personal finance so you can make smarter financial decisions with confidence. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I want to invite you to go deeper. I created both the book and companion workbook, Debt-Free in Jesus' Name, to help you move from information to real transformation. This isn't just motivation. It's a step-by-step biblical blueprint designed to help you break the cycle of debt, strengthen your mindset, and build a foundation for long-term financial freedom. The book will teach you the principle, and the workbook helps you actually apply them, with practical tools like budgeting guides, debt payoff strategies, and personal reflection exercises. If you're ready to become a better steward of what God has placed in your hands, the links are in the description. Start your journey toward peace, discipline, and financial freedom, one decision at a time. The information provided in this content is for educational and informational purposes only, and should not be considered financial, legal, or tax advice. Always consult with a qualified financial advisor, tax professional, or legal counsel before making any financial decisions. The creator of this content is not responsible for any actions taken based on the information provided. Investments and financial decisions carry risk, and past performance does not guarantee future results.